Having more to say about the Prime Minister tonight because it is our country and our government. And it's time we took seriously the promise, or do you call it a threat, when he told us he was changing the country. When he launched, these people forget they're servants of ours. We elect them to do our bidding. We don't elect them to please themselves. When he launched the Voice campaign, he said unapologetically, I'm here to change the country. Well, he's doing that with no mandate for what he's doing. He was defiant in Parliament yesterday because he knows the political tide is going out. Peter Dutton asked him to withdraw the Indigenous voice to Parliament and executive government. Note that bit. It's an Indigenous voice to Parliament and executive government. Now, don't worry about the fancy titles. Executive government is right at the top. That's the Prime Minister, the Governor-General, and they sit down and decide whether the legislation is going to be signed off and so on. So the voice wants its nose in everything, not just the Parliament, a voice to Cabinet and all the way up. Peter Dutton said it was failing, but for Mr Albanese, there was no retreat, no apology and no responsibility. The fact that he won't say when he learnt of the decision to not allow Qatar to have more flights into the country, he defiantly told the Parliament it was no issue. Nothing to see here. I was at NATO, he said. Why can't the Prime Minister tell us when he actually knew about the decision on Qatar? Why can't he tell us specifically what contact was made with Qantas about the decision? And by the way, while we're at it, why has Peter Dutton abandoned the pursuit of the Higgins affair? How did Higgins get reportedly $3 million of our money for, I quote, future economic loss, past economic loss, general damages, future assistance with at-home care, and past and future out-of-pocket expenses? Really, Higgins is tripping around the world. More smoke and mirrors by the government, by the way, a government that pretends to be addressing problems but comes nowhere near the right answers. So a $10 billion housing promise is being promoted as an important victory for the Albanese government. $10 billion housing promise, building 30,000 homes in 5 years. And this is how out of touch Chalmers and Co are. 6,000 homes a year. The current housing shortage is over 106,000. 1 in 200 Australians are homeless. 123,000 homeless Australians. John Howard once said politics was governed by the simple laws of arithmetic. Well, there is the arithmetic. 30,000 homes in 5 years when the shortfall is over 106,000. You see, New South Wales is home to 8 million people. It'll get the same number of new homes under this stupid plan as Tasmania with a population of 500,000. What do we say about brain-dead politicians? Then there's been a surge in migrant numbers and visa holders. And that intergenerational report, which you wouldn't have read, but it came out a couple of weeks ago, talked about net. Now, this is net. That is, you take the number coming in and take away from it those that are leaving. Net overseas migration a year, 285,000. 285,000. As my old man would say, where the bloody hell are they all going to live? To say nothing of roads and schools and hospitals and infrastructure. And the government wants to build 30,000 homes in 5 years. Hello. Remember pre-election, the government was going to fix the aged care crisis? Well, the growth, I stress growth, in the number of beds in aged care homes has been cut by half. Put another way, talking John Howard's arithmetic, aged care residential facilities in the major cities added not many more than 1,200 beds in the past financial year, Albanese government. That's barely half the average of the past 5 years. But like your energy prices coming down, this was the party to solve the aged care crisis. A decline in the rate of growth in the number of aged care beds despite a growing and ageing population.